and gentlemen, to another great show of Chasing Liberty with Jake and Looking Forward with Jess. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, today we got some fun action packed stuff. I'm going to tell a wonderful Army story of my great time overseas and actually involved a governor. Yes. We also have electric vehicles and our favorite part breaking news. So, starting off, fun Army story. So, there I was, found myself in Iraq, and Governor Jim Doyle wanted to come and check out the base. So Governor Jim Doyle came all the way to Camp Navistar, all the way over in Kuwait. And my truck was picked and selected to be the static display for the governor to come and look through and check out the weapon system and say hello and so on and so forth and la da da. We like to call that stuff the dog and pony show. For those who have served before, it was a dog and pony show. So now we're in the middle of a desert, scrubbing this Humvee, clean as a whistle, as is blowing dust, which anybody who's tried to clean anything in a desert knows that that does not work whatsoever. So Governor Doyle shows up, and we were actually stationed at Camp Navistar, which was in Kuwait. We were just on the border, literally right directly on the border of Kuwait and Iraq. And when the supply convoys would get loaded up, they would come to Camp Navistar, and we were the security force that would take them wherever they had to go in the whole theater of operation. It was a great time. So Jim Doyle, our governor, fearless governor, wanted to actually go across the border from Kuwait to Iraq, and his Secret Service did not want to let him. Okay, now mind you, just before he came, there was a great big handgun bill that was or the concealed carry, I believe it was, in the state of Wisconsin, and he vetoed that bill and squashed the handgun or the concealed carry bill, and in the state of Wisconsin. Then he came over to Kuwait.
Probably not leveled
So
up in the military at that point.
not so
Yeah.
much, not so
Yep.
much. Well, either nonetheless, it was his secrets. I heard him talking with the Secret Service, and I actually walked up and I said, "Mr. Governor, if you need to, you can use my pistol when we go across the border to for extra security." And the look that he gave me could have burnt my soul. It was just insane. Yeah, absolutely crazy. So that was my fun army story that involved politicians and talking shit right from the start. So I have not changed, and I will not change. I will
So,
hold our politicians accountable
so
every
he didn't
single
want
time.
to. Apparently, he didn't want to take your gun. Then he was against carrying the handguns.
I
Wow.
made sure to point that out right after he vetoed that gun bill that he could use that pistol for safety.
Yeah. Oh, he probably wasn't licensed though, so he probably couldn't have carried it. Maybe that's why.
Valid point. I don't know what the licensing is in Iraq. Probably
I think.
cost you
I
two
think over.
donkeys and a duck.
I think over there is just an age limit. I think if you're above 6, so
I think it's a little. I've seen younger carry.
probably younger, right?
I've definitely
Yeah.
seen younger carry.
Um. All right. These are for the July 4th, right? For Independence Day, for the birthday. I'm
Yep.
so sorry. I didn't even do this for you the whole time.
Oh, should I tell the
Oh,
story again?
I have. Yeah, just tell it again. Start over again.
That's
Maybe I go back and try to edit that later.
but it's
Um.
live.
Yeah, that might not work. So I got one, but I'll remove the ticker because that way it's fair then. Uh, we were over in Kuwait, and we were flying off to undisclosed location, and the engine on the plane broke. In the C-130, we got 4 engines. I can only see 2 in that picture, but they had 4 engines. One of them took a crap, so we had to call in another plane to bring us an engine. So we're sitting over there waiting, and we're just kind of walking around the base right there. Not really much is going on, and some of the locals, and there was 4 of us, and some of the locals were like, "Hey, you guys want to come back to our place over here and have some tea?" And we're like, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is a good idea. We're like, what the heck? We were young. We didn't know any better. So, we went back to this little tiny, there was like a 2-room shack and dirt floors in the center. The first room you went in was like their living room area. And it just had that fire pit that was in there. And there was 3 of the guys there, and there's 4 of us, and we're watching our backs, being very careful. And sure as crap, they made a fire. They cooked us up some bread, some naan bread, gave us some tea, We didn't get sick or anything like that. And just talking with these people was amazing. And they were jokesters. One of them was a jokester, like
Oh,
kicked the other one in the butt, just total
oh
awesome
yeah,
people. And I
yeah,
didn't know this. And that was one of the biggest learning experiences that I ever had is, we're over there fighting for these people's freedoms and their rights. And I didn't know anything about them. But when I was in that place, I learned a lot. And they're just like anybody else. And it was absolutely amazing. And I needed to learn that because everything else was said and going on. It was awesome. So that was my one military story there.
yeah. Most of the other military stories I've got probably are not Facebook worthy, so
Right?
we'll save
I know.
those for another
Right. We probably won't go down that road.
time.
As Air Force though, I do remember being on the Army bases and I'd walk around without my BDU shirt on. I would just have my brown shirt, and people just start yelling at me, "Hey, soldier,
Ooh.
put on your shirt!" And they're like, "No, no, 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 leave him alone, leave him alone. He's Air
Oh,
Force." So
yeah, I got hollered at one time because it was a winter time and I wear my stocking cap, which on my base, through my leadership and through my command, that was acceptable. But we traveled because we were convoy security, and we get way up by BIOP. I think it was BIOP or Al Assad. I can't remember which one. And I come walking out of a chaw hall, and this first sergeant just jacked my shit for having the wrong hat on. I mean, he's in there, finger in the face, screaming at me, "You will be in proper uniform," and blah blah. Where's your reflective belt? Because obviously we need to wear reflective belts because the snipers can't see us well enough. But he made me take my hat off and then walk around like this until I got back to the truck. True story. I don't can't even make that shit up.
awesome.
But yeah, yeah, that's why I
To
don't.
each their own. So
Yep,
how many
yep.
years have you been out? I think I got out in '04.
I got out in 2013.
Okay.
No, 2014. I was in for 13 years. I got in 2001. I got out in 2014.
Yeah.
So it's been 8 years since I've been out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seems like yesterday.
they wanted
But
to make
even more shocking, next weekend is my 20-year class reunion, and I'm not prepared for that shit.
sure
I'm
you wear
not
your
okay
hat.
with that.
Yep, wear your hat. So
So we,
last week we got to talking about electric vehicles at the end. There was some breaking news. And the breaking news last week was there was an electric vehicle that caught on fire. This vehicle got into a wreck, and 3 weeks later, it was sitting in the junkyard. And 3 weeks later, it started on fire. The firefighters couldn't put it out. They were having such pain in the butt time. Disconnected it. They ended up soaking it in water. Ended up using like 4,500 gallons of water just to put this thing out. So we started thinking, are we going to how are we going to fix this EV issue going on? So I started looking into more electric vehicle things going on here. And so one of the things with electric vehicles, a lot of there's two things. Like you get the battery issue, and then of course when it's operating, and then costs, right? But batteries and usage. So the first one was lithium and cobalt. Those are two things that's used to when you make the battery, right? In order to make the lithium battery, you shove a bunch of water into um, the salt rich water. Okay, so you're bringing the mineral rich salt water to the surface. So you pump the water down in there, comes back up. They wait for it to evaporate, and they can pull the lithium off. In order to get 1 metric ton of lithium, costs 500,000 gallons of water, and then you're
ooh,
contaminating the ground over there too. Same thing with cobalt, kind of the same thing. When they're mining it, they use sulfur. So as they're pulling the cobalt out, their sulfur mixes with the air and the water. You've got sulfur dioxide. So you're pumping a bunch of sulfur dioxide around. If it gets in your waterways, it's just messing it up, and it's nasty. So the whole process of mining for these is what I've been reading is horrible. And one of the things that they don't do is recycling these batteries. So 5% of lithium batteries are actually recycled, opposed to 99% of the lead car batteries. So it takes all this just to make these batteries. They conceal these batteries. You can't get inside of them to repair some of the stuff. and they're just dumping them off in the landfills.
And the power to actually generate the electricity to power the car is still fired by coal.
I got something for you too coming up on that one. Yeah,
Excellent.
I knew it because I heard you talking about this last time. I go, oh, Jake's gonna say this. Yeah. So there's so much that goes into making of these batteries, and they say it's at least 2 times more greenhouse gases to make these batteries than it is for a combustion vehicle. And making a conventional gas engine produces about 6 tons of CO2. But when you make an electric vehicle, it has 25 tons of CO2. So yeah, you're almost 4 times as much. But so you'll see in the usage when we get there, it costs a crap ton more, and it's kind of dangerous to make this stuff. But because these guys are zero emissions from their tailpipe, but they do run off the grid, like you're saying.
So what were those figures again for CO2 emissions during the car engine? Was it 6 tons?
6 tons of CO2, and
Six
then
tons of
20.
CO2 and 25 for. All right, I'm gonna have
Yep.
to remember that one.
And then, but that also doesn't count the pollution from the lithium and the cobalt. So your sulfur dioxide plus your lithium, um, that's pretty dangerous. One thing about the batteries too is the batteries they die over time, and they're dying actually pretty quick. Apple says a normal battery is designed to retain about 80% of its original capacity after 500 charges. Well, people are
Oof.
charging their batteries every damn day. So these batteries
That's
are
2 years
that's
tops.
a, that's a couple years on a Apple battery, yes. On cars, they're giving out 5 to 8 year warranties on your battery. But they do say after so much degradation, so like they've been saying 70%. So after 70% degradation, after so many years, then you can potentially get a new battery. If you don't, it's going to cost you $15,000 for a refurbished one, or about $25,000 for a brand new battery. That's a lot of freaking money.
And they
And
still got to dig all those resources out of the ground yet.
they still got to dig them all out of the ground.
I,
Yeah, I know.
there's better ways to do this.
It's it costs a lot, and it takes a lot to do some of this stuff for the battery. But they do degrade. In there's 2.5 million vehicles on the road, electric vehicles, and there's about 300 million total. But the failure rate on batteries is about zero point 0.2 to 0.43, about 0.44. So about 0.2 to zero point 0.4 ish is your failure rate, which puts it at about 500,000 to a million failure rates on your battery. Now, some of them are repaired, so it's not all of them are degrading and crap, but holy crap.
I just wonder if the public actually knew these details, if there'd be such a big push for electric vehicles.
I don't know. I think they're too new yet, and there's not a lot out there about some of this stuff. It was a pain in the butt to find some of these numbers. Some of the stuff was from UK, and I actually had to do the difference between kilometers and miles. Yeah, yeah, because they don't want to use. There's only a couple countries that use the standards, right?
Ah, that was like me when I was trying to run my sailboat, trying to figure out nautical miles versus regular miles.
Right.
That
Yeah,
was
I don't think I
great.
got that one. No.
I just
Hey,
always rounded.
you got some people in here campaigning like a Neil Harmon, huh?
Oh yeah, he's a stud. What's my favorite ice cream? The cold ones.
No, he's got you pegged, buddy.
Yeah. The best place to have ice cream is on top of your pancakes. Try it. It's a game changer.
All right, so I'm gonna pop over here and share my screen and steal you for a second because you said something about the power, right?
Yep.
So check this out. You guys have to copy this website out there if you want it, but it's from the. I scroll. Oh, I got to go up here to scroll. The Alternatives Fuel Data Center. So down here on this page, you can actually go and you can pick out your state, and it shows you national. Right now, this is nationally. So when you're operating your vehicle, your annual emissions per vehicle. So if you're all electric, that's about, well, 4,000 pounds of CO2 equivalent. Your gas puts out about 11,000. But the hybrids are actually right now a better buy for the dollar by far. A lot less cost to make them. They still get the best gas mileage. They are everything that I have. I didn't go into comparing on the data, which I'll go into.
Yep.
But those are the best ones. Let's check out Wisconsin.
But the downside to buying a hybrid is that the registration on that vehicle through the state is going to be twice as much because they're not getting their gas tax on it for you. So congratulations.
Yeah, you got what? $250?
So I don't know. I just haven't registered my vehicle yet.
Give it time. But I like this website. Yeah, it's coming. I like this website because it tells you what you're using. So you got 42% coal, 34% natural gas, and then the rest. And nuclear is just about phased out anyways. They're going to shut down your Two Rivers up there pretty soon.
Yeah, I get to stop in there once in a while.
Yeah. You need to check that one out. You should do some research on that one because I think they should extend that. Hell, I wish they'd build another one, to be honest with you.
Well, they had the other one that was sitting in Kiwani there that they just shut down.
I want to see is California. California, wow. That's a bigger difference because they got a lot of natural gas and solar. Arizona's a pretty big green state, aren't they? Oh, no, they're pushing nuclear. That's what it was. That's what I was thinking of.
There, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I thought nuclear, you needed an abundance of water supply.
I want to check out New York because they get a lot of hydro. Well, natural gas, nuclear, and hydro for New York. So with whatever your state does is where you plug in. That's where you're going to see that huge difference that you were talking about.
Wow.
Of course, Wisconsin. Oh, we're going to have all kinds of problems in about the next 7 years too. They don't fix their energy.
Yeah, because even them coal plants aren't getting any newer.
God, no. No. Have you heard anything on Line 5 up there yet? They're going to redo that?
They need to. I know it's old and falling apart. But instead of putting in a new one first, they're talking about shutting down the number 5 pipeline and just doing nothing. So I do know there is a compressed natural gas vessel, a big ship that was just built here in Sturgeon Bay, and that's actually out on sea trials right now. So that will be the very first ever compressed natural gas freighter on the Great Lakes. So that's pretty cool.
Where do they bring that in from?
I'm not entirely certain. I think Canada.
Oh, of course. Yeah. They can ship it over for 30 minutes and sell it. Hell yeah, they would.
Yeah. And it's not it's like an 800 footer, so it's not a small vessel. I mean, it's
I got some data on it. I should send over to you too.
Yeah, no smoking on that ship though. No.
Whatever. You coward. You're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space.
You smoke on that vessel, you'll be living on the edge of the moon.
Right. Check this out. So when you have the fire. Oh, we're not going to do breaking news yet. I got you.
I got excited.
No, that was a teaser, buddy. So there's been a lot of fires out there. So if you got Tesla's alone, it has 2.5 million cars out on the road. Out of their recalls, they've had cars. No, these are double. 3.2 million cars have been recalled. So obviously those are double from some of the other ones. They've had so many freaking recalls. Just in May, 130,000 more from touchscreens from overheating that go black. They had airbag problems, a boombox feature, which is when you, not what I was thinking either. It's when you can change the tone of your horn. And I guess at one point in time, somebody had a fart sound in there, so they wanted to get rid of that too. Oh,
God bless America.
God bless America. seatbelt reminders, hood latches, rear view cameras. Some of them they were able to send the software updates to them. Oh yeah, that was yeah.
I, I laugh, but I really shouldn't be shocked.
No, you shouldn't be.
No, I shouldn't be shocked. It's probably
So
some army guy.
there is this website out there. Let's see. Get rid of this little tick. Yep, makes it bigger. Good. Out of there's 85 confirmed cases. There's been 32 fatalities thus far with fires. So this website actually goes through every single fire, news articles about it. This is tesla-fire.com. Of course, some other stuff, but you can get it off of that. Tells you the description of each one. I mean, there's ones in here for parking, just parking. Some have been at stoplights, crashes, in the garage where they burned down the house, at charging stations, at a car wash.
Tesla burns down and kills cat.
Yeah.
Scroll up a little bit.
Which one you want?
Scroll up. Yeah. Up just a few more.
Are you looking for the cat?
Yeah. Right there. Tesla burns house down, kills cat.
There it is, right here.
Oh my. That poor cat.
Yep. Charging in a garage. Oh, there we go. Where was that? Oh, Australia.
Come on, Elon.
I know. Where's your update, cat killer? I know he's like a horse guy too, right? Loves his horses from his massage therapist.
Really?
Oh, you didn't hear that one?
I did not hear that one.
When he got the sexual assault charges against him, he offered to buy his massage therapist a horse. That was his way of trying to buy his way in, I guess.
Buying her a horse. Maybe it's a South African thing.
Tesla reports that they're 11 times less likely to have fires than combustion engines. Yes, but not when you compare the amount of Teslas on the road to the amount of combustion engines on the road. So, and they're more dangerous because firefighters can't put them out. So, yeah, they are working on a solid state battery that uses non-flammable electrolytes, but good luck with that one.
Yeah, I'm still a fan for the hydrogen, but I can tell you, as soon as they start coming out with the hydrogen, then we'll be running out of water.
Yeah, well, hydrogen is pretty damn explosive already. What is it, 100 times?
40,000.
40,000.
40,000 times more combustible than gasoline.
There you go. So you're kind of driving around, and, well, if you can keep it small, only use it on demand.
If you can make it on demand, that's the key. So when you're bringing in the laws of thermodynamics, you can't create energy. You can only transfer energy. So I'm sure there's some kind of a mathematical formula somewhere some genius can figure out. Probably the poor lady that just died that did all the mathematics that got us to the moon. I'm sure she could figure it out. But there has to be some kind of a formula that you can make enough hydrogen on demand and be completely fine. I'm confident that there is. There's just someone's got to sit and figure it out.
Well, when I get my deck built, maybe I'll work on it this winter for you.
Appreciate that.
No problem. I'm just never going to go to dinner with anybody from the oil industry ever.
Never, ever, ever.
Never, ever, ever. So, oh yeah. Remember back in the day, we used to get like 40 miles to a gallon?
Yeah.
Smaller cars? Yeah. That doesn't happen anymore. Hybrids, however, get 48 to 60 miles per gallon. That's
what was that old car back in the? It was a little diesel car. Back in the early 80s, that got like 50 miles to the gallon.
I know which one you're talking about, too.
Is it a Ford Pinto? No.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, of course, the top 10 come up. There's a Honda Civics, apparently, that makes some. Ford Fiestas, Scion. Oh, these are 2000.
Yugo? I gotta look up now.
Is that French? You look that up. I'm going to continue on with one other thing that I did on electric vehicles. All right, let's go with service costs. So when you start doing the costs for these vehicles, go in here. So I looked at three different ways. So you have your initial costs, and then you got mileage costs for how much it costs to operate the damn thing, and then service costs. So initial costs, you've got average cost of a vehicle, you've got electric vehicles here, and internal combustion engines. Electric vehicles are more expensive by about $13,000. Average years that you own a vehicle is 12 years. That breaks down to about this much each year for each vehicle. Now you got to operate it. So your mileage costs, average miles per year at American Drives is 14,000. Average miles per gallon per vehicle is 25.7. Then you got to do some funny stuff with the electric vehicles. So you got average miles per kilowatt for 100 miles. So just a factor. But you'll take that times average cost per kilowatt a gallon. And I'll show you this in a second because this is your energy rate that you pay. I have Alliant Energy here in Spring Green, so I pay 14 cents. Internal combustion engine, if you take 14,000 miles per year divided by your gallons, you get average gallons that you use a year. So you are at $3.50 a gallon. That's how much it costs to operate your car. Now, you can change this, of course. $4 a gallon. I'll play with that just a second here. But I'm using 350 because that's what it freaking should be. Electric vehicles, you can change this also on where you live. So if you got like California's 19 cents, definitely changes what you pay a year. Charging stations are different. I didn't include those because there's not a lot of them, and those are a lot cheaper rates. So this is what it costs to run an electric vehicle a year, $678.16. So you got to service your vehicle. Average service costs for electric vehicles and engines are right here. If I had to pay $1,200 on my vehicle a year, I would be pissed. Maybe I do my own maintenance. Maybe that's why. So adding these up gives us, let me scroll right here. Total cost per year. Electric vehicles, $6,300. Cars, $6,700. This is your annual difference. You are saving by buying an electric vehicle $481 a year. But that depends on the price of gas and how much you pay for electricity. If gas is up, you save more. If gas is down, you save less. I think anything under like $2.30 or something like that, or that I had to have just to break even. I'll stick with $3.50. And if your electricity is up 20 cents a kilowatt, you're going to save less. You know what you pay over there, Jake?
For electricity?
Yeah, you
I
probably
got no idea. I can look. I think I got a bill somewhere around here.
You're good. You got to be close to 14 cents, I would think. Wisconsin,
That
they
sounds
say
about right.
Wisconsin say the average is at right around 11%, but that's not true because they factor in industrial costs and stuff. So industrial gets a different rate than consumer. So consumers pay more. So,
All
and
right.
we don't get time
So
today.
so
Let's get
here's what we've got. The Honda CRX and the Chevy Chevette had no troubles reaching 50 miles per the gallon back in the early 80s. And the VW Rabbit as well.
the
But
rabbit.
that was the diesel. That was a diesel.
Yeah.
Gasoline engines, the Honda CRX and the Chevy Chevette. The Chevette is the one that I was thinking about.
I got to talk to my mother. Hey, Mom, are you watching? Did we own a Chevette? Who owned the Chevette? All right, where's the chats? Oh, then I got to remember my mother knows how to chat.
Hey, Carl's on here. Hey, Carl. How we doing, bud?
The Yugo or the Gremlin? We'll have to do the search on the Yugo and the Gremlin. I feel like those are cars from the movie Cars. it Cars 3?
Very
The
possible.
the
I haven't
Lemming
seen
car?
I haven't seen Cars 3 yet.
Yeah. I wanted to do this really quick on this number. If you're in California, okay, and you're paying 19 cents per kilowatt, and your gas is what, 6.50 a gallon roughly? They stand a chance to make a lot more money in the difference. Now, I want to go back to Wisconsin here. What are we at now? 450 right now, potentially. But check this out. If you're an electric vehicle and you have to buy a battery, if you are out of that warranty, batteries cost refurbished $15,000. You just lost money. If you want to buy it new, you just lost more money.
So in other words, electric vehicles are not worth it.
If you buy one, if your battery fails and it's not covered under warranty, you've lost money. Guaranteed. You'll be done. So it's kind of like a gamble in a way. Um,
So is
you
farming.
trade it in. Trade it in. I would never buy a used one. Never. Because you never know what the battery's like.
I think I'd buy a used one if the batteries were just replaced.
You could. I mean, the failure rates on the batteries are pretty low. What at 0.2 to 0.4, 0.44, I was saying. But I don't know, it's a gamble.
I tell you, I've got this Prius, and I love that little car.
Yep.
We average miles to the gallon, and it is glorious. It cost me like $40 to fill it up right now, but it also cost me $160 to fill up my farm truck. So it's a little bit of a difference there.
I'm in the same boat. I'm just as pissed off as you. It's
like
I hate it.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I put that up on Facebook one time, and somebody was actually talking about the $200 that they were paying. Plus, somebody brought up semis and how much semis are paying $1,500 to fill their tanks. It's disgusting. I don't
So
know.
every morning I stop and I got to fill up the propane truck when I'm out delivering because I can't make it a full day. I can't make it 2 days on a tank of gas. I got to top off every day. So every single day, I'm dumping in anywhere from $140 to $180 in fuel daily. Every single day.
And where does that money get transferred off to?
It goes onto the cost of the product we're delivering.
It all goes onto the consumer. I was trying to find. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We got a comment here. It says, "How about the shooting in Chicago?" I see they are saying it's a kid in Madison. I haven't had the second to look into the full details of that. I do have one of my campaign guys is keeping their finger on the pulse on that news story, and I believe he was on his way to Madison to do some more shooting. He was from Madison.
I don't know if he was. I don't think he was from Madison. I think he went to Madison.
He was going to Madison to do another shooting. Yeah.
He dressed up like a girl after the shooting and fled the scene that way, and came to Madison.
Crafty.
Yeah. What?
You know the best way to stop a. You know what is the best way to stop a mass gunman? It's to shoot back.
If you have a weapon, and you know where they're at. Yep.
They found his cell phone at a business.
Yep. There you go.
Anyone who walks into a crowd or shoots at a parade or any of these mass shootings is one of the most cowardly individuals that I've ever seen. It's incomprehensible. We will not mention his name, any mass shooter's name. We will not give them any kind of recognition or glory for anything that they've done. And I hope they rot. I really, really do. But again, and that's a whole nother topic we could go on to for long time.
Nope,
But,
I refuse. I get
yep.
pissed off. I get
Yeah.
just pissed.
Hey, you hit the timing right. Excellent.
Shit, I know. I've been forgetting about it lately.
You nailed it. You
It's been
nailed it.
tough. Okay, so we've been bashing EVs. Now, if you own an EV for more than 10 years and you don't have any huge costs or anything, you actually do, it actually saves the CO2 environment. It does help. Not by a whole heck of a lot, about 75% over the 12 years. I think it was 12 years. And so you'd have to make sure that you drive that car for 12 years. There's no huge cost. You would start using less CO2 than you would with a regular car. Surprisingly. But you don't gain the environment that you use from harvesting the lithium and cobalt. And it's a gamble if your battery doesn't die. I'm not going to buy one. Maybe a hybrid. I'd play in that.
I think I'm kind of digging the hybrid arena. I mean, even if you did something like a hydrogen assist, if you could get that ironed out,
Yeah.
where you had a hydrogen generator on board that would run right through your regular exhaust or through your air intake. I've seen that done before. Your oxygen sensor is going to throw some stuff off, but just scrap that oxygen sensor. It's just junk anyways. Cross the wires to the
Yeah, we were talking about that one last time. Remember you owned a Chevy? It's stupid.
It is stupid. Every Chevy's got a bad oxygen sensor. Every single one of them.
They come off the lot like that.
They do.
Are you ready, buddy?
Oh, I'm ready. Here's the fun part.
This is all you. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, you know what? There we go. Having all these buttons. Breaking news. Semiconductors funding bill is likely to pass. Well, right now there's a bill out there that they're trying to push through for $52 billion for incentives and subsidies to making more semiconductors for the automobiles and aircrafts and technology, right? $52 billion they want to give companies to make billions of dollars of profit. Go for it.
I remember seeing, I believe it was during Sleepy Joe's State of the Union. He was out touting on, I believe it was IBM CEO, about making a state of the art semiconductor facility. All right. So when the government's giving out tax subsidies as such, okay, what that is code for is my buddy's got a shop and we need to give him some cash. That's all that it means. Okay. The United States of America, we can and will, if it's profitable, you sell stock in the company, you generate funds, you invest in that company like every other company. They do not need tax subsidies. Stop spending my money.
They're going to make
period. Okay. Do I get a tax subsidy for my farm? Nope. I get nothing. I get to work hard. Okay. Tax subsidies or any kind of subsidies. This is how the government picks winners and losers, and they do this over and over and over again, and it has to stop in its entirety. Government should not be involved in business. Period. The only role that government should ever take in business is the effectuation of contracts between businesses.
So I was trying to find out what companies are going to go and get some of this money because I wanted to buy the stocks in that company because it's going to go up because they're going to do it. But I don't know who it is because I don't have that insider knowledge to be able to do trading.
Just call up Nancy Pelosi. She'll hook you up.
I'll just meet her at the bar. She'll be drunk. She'll run her mouth. AMD, I believe, is one. But when I was digging into trying to figure out who it was, fixing the trade policy. So there's something out there called a trade adjustment assistance. Interesting. It gives money to workers that are displaced through trade deals. So they're going to do trade deals like with China. People are going to get out of work, and then we're going to give them money because they put them out of work. It's called the Trade Adjustments Assistance.
We pay that to other countries?
We do the trade deals with other countries, and then we pay our workers because we put them on jobs. We pay them off the trade adjustment assistance. That's how that works. Yep.
Yeah. 80 million in Wisconsin tax subsidies went to Foxconn. As far as I can tell, they never opened. They didn't open. You're right. They didn't open.
They did a little bit, but they didn't even come close to making their goals. So they didn't get the full 80 million. They got a portion of that. I think they were up to 10 or 12 million or something like that. They didn't get everything because it was per year and stuff. When they didn't make their goals, rather than to work with them to get realistic goals, and in fact, Foxconn signed with an electric vehicle company over a year ago, but they didn't move to Wisconsin. They ended up keeping it overseas. So they just didn't pay their bills. They didn't do anything. It was a shitty deal. It was a deal. And yeah, so they didn't get full 80 million. Don't worry about that. They only
Nailed
got
it.
probably maybe 20 million. Still bullshit. But they're still over there. They're not.
So I wonder where the rest of it is.
It was just kept in tax money because it was tax incentives. So they just spent it in other places.
Okay.
Yeah. It was funny when Foxconn started going south and everybody ran for the hills, and not one damn representative that stood there with a shovel when on day one helping them build, when it started going south, they ran for the hills. I've got all kinds of buttons. Uh-oh. Did I lose you, Jake?
You're getting good at that.
I know.
No,
yeah, I'm
still here. There's just a lag.
You're good. Breaking news. Come on up. Oil from the U.S. reserves heads overseas as gas line prices stay high. So, what the heck do we have in our oil reserves?
Yes.
Where are they? So, roughly, we can have a capacity of about 700.
Been since the 80s?
1980s, yeah? Like 1984 right now. Roughly our capacity is 725 million barrels. It's actually put into salt caverns that are down by Gulf of Mexico. Interesting. Mostly in Texas. So we are down to roughly 500 million barrels now. We released about 80 million barrels last year, a couple times. We just sent another 5 million barrels over to Europe and Asia last month. And we're releasing 1 billion barrels a day all the way through October. So it was a 6-month release. We've got about 4 more months to go. So we've got about another 120 million barrels that are going to come out of that 500 million where we're at. So with the 500 million where we're at, 120 more to go, 380 million barrels, not counting what they're going to give to Europe and Asia and India and anywhere else. That will be the lowest ever in history. Well, since it was created and started filling up, right? Never been below that. it has. Oh, go ahead.
Those fuel reserves are those fuel reserves put there, and we have reason and one reason only. If we're in a war, we have fuel reserves if we're in a conflict. That's why it was set up. It wasn't set up to just help bail out our shitty government when they needed it to. It was set up if we ended up in another global conflict, because we're going to be using an exorbitant amount of it, the equipment that we currently have. This isn't what this fuel reserve was intended to be used for.
No, well, some people are going to argue that we are in a war with Ukraine, and we are in a funding war with Russia right now. And Ukraine's got, I think, they're the 4th most country we've ever given money to.
Yeah.
And we keep giving them, what, 5 million a day or something. It's insane. So it's the new Cold War is what it's turning out to be.
Yeah.
But what I'm more scared about is, okay, so if we get down to 380 million barrels, and where I'm concerned is if that keeps going down, we keep giving oil away, we are not making enough here. The wells that we have are running about 90% effective right now at capacity. So they need to open more up. And if they don't, we are relying on other countries. And that's where it's going to be dangerous because hurricanes, uprisings. I think Ecuador just had to shut down for a little bit because of an uprising in their country. We're relying too much on other things. OPEC's going to screw us. And I'm more concerned about where we're going in the future.
Single time we've used them.
Yeah. Yep. July.
The idea of being energy independent. I do have to give Donald Trump credit for that one.
Yeah.
But and that goes for being independent as a country, not just on fuel or everything.
Yeah.
And then our access, that's what we're trading overseas. We've learned that this global economy isn't good because if there's conflicts that start off somewhere else, that affects our economy when it shouldn't.
I think we're going to get in trouble from this.
Keep
one.
it local.
Yep. if we gotta keep it inside the United States.
Probably.
Yep. We've seen a little drop in gas prices now, but I'm concerned that it's going to spike right back up here before too long. July 2016, money.cnn.com said the U.S. has more untapped oil than Saudi Arabia and Russia. We have the ways to be efficient. We're just not doing it. And the regulation is stopping it. That's the problem. Oh, Jake.
Yep.
Stressful, huh? So.
It's very stressful. It's scary when the country's gone because we have trying to keep this country together. I mean, I'm sure the whole thing isn't going to fall apart in my lifetime. Maybe it will fall apart in my lifetime, but I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't fall apart for my children and my grandchildren. We stop to the corporate cronyism because that's what it's kind of leading to. They don't want to pump any extra oil, so they can put green energies, which is where they get their donors are coming from green industries. So I mean, it's follow the money every single time. Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow the money.
Amen.
And it is clearly no longer represents the people.
People are so upset. Everybody's just frustrated with where our country's at. In fact, it's gotten so bad. That the Statue of Liberty, breaking news, has just been seen walking back to France. Look at that. She's had enough. She's like, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I don't take this anymore.
Enough of this.
Just, you people suck.
I still remember 9/12, the day after 9/11, when the planes hit the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
That was American. Okay, you didn't have black and white, gender, gay, heterosexual. You didn't have anything other than Americans. Where's that? How do we get that back without the catastrophe? Stand together like that one more. Right now, we continue to fight over governance or governance when we should be fighting for self-governance. Self-governance is what protects the minority. Self-governance is what liberty is. Okay, lets diversity. Lets diversity flourish. We have to towards self-governance. Republican democratic governance has actually torn this country right apart. It's scary, but okay. I do get a kick out of podcast every day, and it's the same rhetoric. This is important election of our lifetime. You gotta vote for the Republicans. If we win this time, the country's just gonna be destroyed. It is literally the same every single election cycle, entire life. No, people are gonna be fine. Okay, well, even if the government completely implodes, guess what? We're still gonna help our neighbors. It's gonna be fine. Okay, we'll figure it out. government imploded. It would be awesome.
No, you're exactly right. And unfortunately,
truly.
disasters and stuff like that bring people together. I'm not going to, I don't even want to talk about disasters because there's a lot of them out there, and hurricanes, whatever. That seems to be the only thing that's disgusting. They're just going to keep tearing us apart. Breaking news. Let's stay local for a couple. Kevin Nicholson,
All right,
Republican governor guy, he's dropping out. He's done. He said he did.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. Doesn't want to go negative because it's going to hurt his party.
And that.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out on me, buddy.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Am I back? Am I back yet?
Yep, you're good. You just got a few skips in there. But yeah, you're left with Tim Michaels, and Cleveland. That's what you're left with. Those are the front runners right now. Maybe another one will stand out soon.
You do have Timothy Rantham in there as well, but last time I checked, that was in the last fall. Nicholson was still.
He took off good because he went.
And here's what I can tell you: Yep. What I do see is not one Republican gubernatorial marijuana reform for the state of Wisconsin. With that being said, I want to congratulate Tony Evers on his victory here in November for winning as governor again. Because if the Republicans are not going to come up, I am of absolute. Tony Evers won his first election. He'll win the second one again until the Republicans get their heads out of their asses. Okay, they're going to continue to lose elections.
He pissed off too many independents. I don't know if he's going to be able to.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he pissed off too many independents. And independents are just going to be frustrated with with Republicans at this point. So I don't know. I think I might just go fishing. I don't know, man. It's sad. Well, I got to show up.
All right.
So
Put you.
All right. Let's move on. We're gonna do.
Well, I'm gonna write in just.
Yeah, you got to spell it right. Jake spelled my name wrong earlier. My last name. It was kind of.
I'm dyslexic. It's my bad.
Breaking news. Up in your neck of the woods, what's going on up in here? Large-scale fish are dying off in the Fox River and Green Bay waters. Some are even as high up in Door County. You got a lot of your channel cats, your carp, some sheephead, and the DNR is looking into this. What is going on up there, Jake?
That's a damn good question.
The only thing I could think of was, of course, runoff. But they tested the water. They said the water was fine, so they're thinking some type of a virus or something. They don't know. A lot of them are like decomposing and stuff right now. So I don't know.
It would be PFAS. That shit does.
It could be chemical. You could have something chemical.
It's a little scary.
You have plastic companies up there? You have some big plastic companies in there?
Not up in Door County, no.
And they would have picked out
most of the industry that you're going to find. Yeah, most of the industry that you're county here is shipbuilding. We don't have a whole lot of manufacturing on the water.
It's interesting because they're kind of decomposing.
Marinette, though, on the other hand. That's scary because this is one of the world.
Yeah,
and for muskie and stuff like that in northern. I mean, almost bass here in Door County. That's the world championship bass tournament is held here. Regular.
It looks like a lot of bottom feeders right now.
That's not good.
Yeah, from what I was seeing. So we'll see what they find. But they said it could take some weeks yet, and hopefully we find the answer. Yeah. So
yeah, especially if that's just getting into like.
Yeah. So those were the
This lay is really kind of kicking me in the ass.
It totally is. It's killing me, man. It's killing me. All right. I wanted to end with a joke. So end off with just one more. So this is the breaking news. Okay. All right. So wait for Jake's laugh at the end. We'll see where the delay comes in. So a man in a hot air balloon is lost. So he shouts to another man down below. He says, "Excuse me. I promised a friend I would meet him, but I don't know where I am." The guy on the ground says, "You're at 31 degrees, 14.57 minutes north latitude, 100 degrees, 49.09 minutes west longitude," he replies. The man in the balloon says, "Huh, you must be a Democrat." The guy says, "I am. How did you know?" "Because everything you told me is technically correct, but the information is useless, and I'm still lost. Frankly, you've been no help." The man on the ground says, "You must be a Republican." "Well, yes. How did you know?" "You've risen to where you are because you do due to a lot of hot air. You made a promise you couldn't keep, and you expect me to solve your problem. You're in exactly the same position you were before we met. But somehow now it's my fault." So that was my political joke for the day. Yeah.
Okay, I got one. Before we go.
Yeah.
Joe.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Joe Biden had to go to the hospital. His belly was hurting real bad.
Okay, you're good.
Oh yeah,
you're good now. You're good.
Joe Biden had to go to the hospital. All right, he had to go to the hospital. His belly was hurting real bad. He just couldn't stop Putin.
Wait.
I will quit my day job.
Yeah. I like that one. We're going to bash him however we can. It's okay. All right. I think I'm blurry anyways.
Every time.
I know. Okay. So, buddy, I had fun.
Oh, I thought that was
it, man. We made it a full hour.
every week. Always a good time. What should we talk about next week?
Oh man, I don't. These are all big stuff. What do you got coming up? You got events coming up? Any events?
I've got an event on the 15th. The 16th, I've got my 20-year class reunion. But otherwise, yeah, it's just not okay with that.
What's on the 15th? What event is that?
I said it happens. 15th, I've got a fundraiser going on in.
What's the fundraiser about?
For my campaign. So it's a social hour. Snacks available and some drinks. Come meet us if you are in the Kimberly area. It's going to be. Hold on. The exact information here.
Cool. Yeah. As for next week, we'll take suggestions. But to be honest with you, everything's so freaking broke. I don't touch mass shootings. I'm done with gender stuff. I'm done with COVID. I refuse to talk about that stupid crap anymore. Leave it alone. Let's live on. Pick a topic. Don't care. But I'll do the research. I'll figure it out. I know. I was hoping your event was going to be for something that I could do some research for you for. Let's see if I can maybe dig into some candidates here in Wisconsin or something. So we'll see. Maybe I can find some dirt on some or something. Or some good stuff.
We should see if we can get an extra.
An extra what? Candidate? Maybe one that has a good freaking internet connection?
We should see if we can get a special guest.
Grab
No
Neil
shit,
Harmon.
right?
Grab Neil Harmon. He's
wonderful.
He's been out there. He's Secretary of State.
He was talking to, I actually, he's running hard too.
Put him back on here.
So he's gonna. I literally talked to him. Literally before we jumped on here, he's gonna check his schedule, and if he's free, he'll join us next week.
Cool.
Right, Neil? You still on here, Neil? Or are you spiking?
He went to sleep already. He commented at the beginning.
So,
he was tired. He put all that effort into the beginning. Neil's a great guy.
We're gonna post this up here. Let's see if I can do it here.
Yeah. No, we're good. You want to
Hey,
share?
look at that. There we are.
You share?
Did it share? Did it get up there? I tried.
No.
So it's good. Coffee House in Bristol, 100 Street in Kimberly. Starts at 30.
The coffee house, better.
Yeah, definitely excited to see everybody. Make sure everybody RS. My beautiful wife will not be in attendance, so out. I'm sorry. I apologize ahead of time. She won't be there.
We'll tell Emily we said hi.
Yeah, she's still out visiting her folks.
Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in for me. These are always fun. Looking for topics, shoot something over. I mean, we've been doing this for well over a year. We were just on a different channel for a while. So we've beat up so many different topics, and anything that happens nowadays, it's just disgusting. Follow the money. If you ever question why somebody's not doing something for where they're representative, just follow the money. That's all you got to do. Keep tracking that. Next step, next step, next step. May take some open records requests, but you'll get there. You'll figure it out. If not, ask me to do it. So thanks to everybody. Absolutely love you guys listening. Comments, keep it coming. Dexter.
Thank you. If you'd like to check out more details about my campaign for the Wisconsin's 8th Congressional District, you can find that at www.jakele2.com. If you'd like some information, because we are growing and growing rapidly. www.lpwi.org. And for all joining us here tonight, and we will next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. live. Spotty internet connection.
We'll get it. Take care.